Thursday saw a new laundry list for The Sims 4, which I expect is for a game update that's probably coming next week. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So I'm going to cover that laundry list. I'm also going to cover why I think that game update is coming next week, and I have an update on the SimsFileShare malware situation, which I'll cover at the end of the video. So the Sims Direct tweeted and shared on their Discord where they said, "Simmers, the laundry list is here with community reported issues we aim to resolve in the upcoming patch for an improved gameplay experience," and they linked to the laundry list. They also followed up to say that their team continues to investigate other community concerns for future fixes, such as issues impacting save files, i.e. that's the save corruption, weather effects occurring indoors, and fishing in Sulani. And they'll continue to keep us posted as they work towards a resolution. So as for that laundry list, here is the first part of it, where they have 12 items on the laundry list, and they essentially repeat what they said in the other message. But one thing they don't comment about is that commitment to essentially fix the game that they had made last May, and they had been doing big laundry list and big fixes like every couple of months. I don't know if that's because this isn't one of those big laundry lists because it's pretty small, there's only 12 items on it, or what. They are still fixing things. Obviously, hopefully they're going to continue to try and, really fix the game as opposed to just these handful of fixes. They then did go on to essentially reiterate what they'd followed up with that tweet where, they have the issues impacting save files, the fact that they're looking for additional information on the relevant threads, and they had a troubleshooting guide available that might help until they're able to roll out the fix. I have actually covered that guide by Krenrick in a previous video, but here it is on the screen. But one of the main points there in the middle, apart from the issue with, residential rentals, and if you have lots of residential rentals, that can be a problem, is just in general the save game size. And three of the things that she's suggesting can help is if you have lots of huge houses with lots of objects, to try and keep that down. If you have a lot of photos that the Sims take in game, only keep the ones you like. You don't have to get rid of the ones you like, but if you have like a bunch that you're not using, delete those because they can make the save files big. And also if you have a lot of Sims that, delete the ones you don't use if you're noticing your save game is getting large. And she just has updated the fact that it's listed as something that needs extended investigation, even though it wasn't on the laundry list itself. It's noted on the laundry list. So back to the actual items that they're planning on fixing in the next update. Of course, there's no guarantee. They may not fix it. Again, I said there were 12 things. And I went through and looked at all of the reports. That one that's highlighted links to something that was already fixed, and it was in the archive bug report section, but Krenrick had gone through and there was still a vampire eyes on toddler Sims reverting back to normal eyes, and that was the one that she noted was also in the, she didn't note, it was also in the archive bug report, but she noted that this was a laundry list issue. So while this particular one links to something that's already been fixed, there is a similar issue in the archive section for toddler Sims that hasn't been fixed, and that's what is expected to be this fix. So of these 12 items, 7 of them are from that archive bug report. And just as a refresher, the archive bug report essentially are any bug reports that came from EA Answer headquarters over to the new forums when they closed EA Answer headquarters. There are some bug reports that are in the archive section that have had new bug reports created in the new forum bug report section, but there are tons that haven't, but they are obviously still looking at them because 7 of these 12 items are from there that they have on this laundry list. 4 are from the new forum, though a couple of them were older and were in both and actually had got a new one created over there. And that final there is actually not in the bug section, it's just in the Mac technical area of the new forum. Of these things, it doesn't seem like many of them are really that big. I mean, there's only 12. The one with not being able to water plants, that's a new issue that hopefully, looks like it's going to be fixed. I've never experienced this thing with the teenage Sims not getting the third trait, but I know I've had friends who have, so that's good for those who have had that. This one with the high school event tasks not appearing for secondary active teen sims, like if you went to high school with more than one teen sim, only one of them would get the event task. That's something I have experienced myself, so I'm glad for that. I don't have Sims Die. There's Rebirth. There's two of them. One was new bug section, one was the old one. They seem to maybe both pertain to these traits, but obviously they're slightly different. So if you play with that, I'm sure that'll be good. If I had Sims who were Rebirth, this would definitely have affected me because my Sims tend to have the traits that they refer to there. And again, if you had multiple ghosts, there was like Sims were being unresponsive and the game was freezing in the save menu. So that would probably be good if you play with the ghosts for that one to be fixed. But in general, not a lot of fixes, I have to say. So speaking of the fact there's not a lot of fixes, I just took a quick look at the bug reports, the items that are under investigation, and I just got screenshots of the first 7 pages, and I highlighted anything that was over 100 upvotes. 2 on these 7 pages have green highlights, and that's because they were the ones that were referred to on the laundry list that they were actually looking into, and they were the ones with the highest numbers, like the weather effects occurring inside structures has 1,435 upvotes. But there were a couple on this page, and I have 7 pages, in which you can just take a look. On this second page, it had 5 items that had over 100 upvotes. This third page had 4 reports that had over 100 upvotes. This fourth, as you get further down, there's only 2 on this one. The 5th one had 2, but 1 is green, i.e. the island living spot's not working. And then you had another one. The 6th page didn't have any, and the only reason I got that one because when you get to the 7th page, there's 1 more there. So in total, in the 7 pages that I got screenshots of, there were a whole 16 that had over 100 upvotes, of which 2 of those were acknowledged as things that they were actively investigating in the laundry list but weren't on the laundry list. So as to why I expect the game update to be next Tuesday, April 29th, that's because we're getting 3 kits next Thursday, May 1st. That is the last item on the Motherlode roadmap, and those 3 kits are Restoration Workshop, Golden Years, and Kitchen Clutter. Which is why I expect that the laundry list fixes will be on Tuesday, April 29th, and the usual time for an update is 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so that would be 1 p.m. Eastern for me. This is where it is all around the world, but I will have a link down below to this time zone converter, and it will tell you when it is in your own time zone. So you could pause and look and see yours, or you can just click on the link below to see when it is in your own time zone. I also said I'd have an update on that SimsFileShare situation where files were compromised there. Luthien Rising updated her Patreon post with an update for the 24th. The owner of SimsFileShare has removed all known compromised files, and creators are able to upload to SimsFileShare again. However, she advises that you be very cautious. Look and think before you download and install wherever you download. Did a creator suddenly update old content without also announcing it? Are the files the kind of files they should be? Is this the place the creator normally uploads their stuff? These are all things that have sort of come to bear and be issues with past issues, past, ones that were compromised. So there's an example about, looking at the files you're installing right above the highlighted area. That hair CC, it doesn't have an executable file or script. It's just hair. So it should be a package file. So you kind of have to understand what it is you're installing to kind of know what to look for, I suppose. But anyways, that's the update on that situation. So creators can upload to the site again, and hopefully everything has been removed, at least the known compromised files, and hopefully there are not any unknown ones still hanging out there. But anyways, let me know what you thought about the laundry list. Were there some things on there that you were happy to see? Were you like me, a little bit underwhelmed by the lack of fixes on there? Though I am still happy to see some of the fixes, regardless of the fact that I was a little underwhelmed by the small number of fixes on there, but perhaps that means there won't be huge issues after the update. That could be the upside. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!